It's not gone live on the broadcast, but it's 9 o'clock. It's saying live up there.
Okay.
Hello.
I think we're supposed to be live.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm waiting to see if we get any audio. But so far I'm not getting anything. Hello.
It's going to transition in a minute anyway.
All right.
Just waiting to see if we have some audio.
Is there anybody out there? Hello. This is Earth to Mars. Should I just take the headphones out?
Is that definitely the link?
Yeah. 18th of November.
It says on there that we've already got seconds gone.
Through the trapdoor. 8. It says 7 there.
Is there anything coming out?
Oh yeah, it's coming. All right, cool. How come it says 7? Anyway, it's working.
Oh.
So we do have sound.
Oh, off you go.
We got there. Hey, we're live. We're live.
Hola,
evening.
fofiños. Welcome to Through the Trapdoor with the Malthusian Trap.
Good evening. Good evening.
That was Portuguese.
Good evening.
Was it?
I said hola, fofiños.
I wasn't impressed with the accent, to be fair.
Wow.
My mate Alan Green, who's watching, or Alan, would pick you up on that accent. Anyway, I've mentioned him.
Fair
Move
enough.
What kind? Hang on. I was kind of trying to double check the audio. What kind of accent was that?
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Yeah.
Sounded like, I don't know, like you'd just come back from Qatar or something, mate.
Qatar, no.
It was a bit touch and go, that one, if I'm honest.
No
Do you know
way.
what I'm saying?
It's Portuguese. Mrs. is Portuguese.
No, that makes it all right.
Yeah, it does.
I've got Portuguese friends.
Yeah.
I know loads of black people.
Well, he did a Romanian one the other day.
Yeah, but he spoke the language.
So did I. I said
sure?
hola, fofiños.
What? I thought you said, hey up, my Al Gingeros.
No.
Do it again. Go on, I want to see it.
Hola, fofiños. And then I said, welcome to the Malthusian Trap
So you
podcast.
just said one word.
It's 2.
All right.
Hola, fofiños.
All right. Bonjour.
Como
Je
tapa tu?
m'appelle Où est le Big Mac?
Oe la Big Mac.
Buonasera.
Anyway, we're live.
Nil pois.
Nil pois.
Live for another edition of...
Through the Trapdoor.
And I need
Podcast.
like a jingle to go behind that.
Well, we've got one, but
We don't use it.
we haven't figured out how to do it live yet.
It's super cool.
So, should we crack on with some questions, or we're going to talk some?
Yeah. If anyone's got anything to say while we're doing the podcast, I'm just fidgeting while I get comfortable. If anyone's got anything to say while we're doing the podcast, do use the chat. Some people have said hello already.
All right.
Hello.
Carl.
And
Yeah.
feel free to contribute as you go along.
Douglas?
And Ryan. Yes, go for it.
It's a bit like a conference.
It
You
is.
know what I mean? Feel free to contribute to the discussion, to the lesson. Tonight we're going to be learning all about how to chat shit. So yeah, we start off with the questions as per usual. So this week we've got a few questions. The first one's going to come from a mucker of mine from up north. Paul Godfrey.
Paul Godfrey.
Yep. Not
Paul
from Dad's
Godfrey,
Army.
I was going to say.
I was trying to think of the
Which
the
one is
relevance.
it? Godfrey and Dad's Army.
Is the old
Godfrey's
one?
the old one,
that
yeah.
the one-
everybody liked.
The one who is is he like a nurse or something?
He's
And
a medic.
dead kind.
Yeah.
Medic.
Yeah, he's
that's
proper
it.
old.
Medical orderly.
The fit one.
The fit one, yeah.
Right, basically Paul's asking this one, yeah. Who thought of the band name? And how close are we as a society to the Malthusian Trap?
Well, I have no idea who came up with the band name. It was long before I joined.
Damon came up with the band name.
I did, yeah.
He did. And what was the other part of the question?
Shall I tell them how
Yeah, but what was the other
the other
part?
part of the question was like, how close as a society
Oh, okay. Yeah.
or civilization are we to the actual Malthusian Trap? So
We'll go in with the band name.
Should probably do a little explanation of what it is if we're going to talk about that.
Oh God, that's a difficult one.
But some people don't know, do they?
Yeah, I think we probably need to do a bit more research on what the Malthusian Trap is in terms of like being able to say it, because we have obviously researched it, but I'm not like an economics professor. So, but basically, how it come about was we was making tunes, and we wanted a name for the band. So,
Drink break.
I'm getting a bit nervous. No, I got a frog in my throat. So we was looking for a name, and we wanted something industrial because we're both from like industrial cities, and obviously Coxie is as well because he's from Plymouth, but I'm from Stockport/Manchester. Doug's from Birmingham, and we wanted something to represent the industrial backgrounds of the cities, also the music that we listen to. So I was researching certain things, and the Malthusian Trap theory came up, and I thought that's a cool name, that no one can say, but that's another story. And when I read into the meaning behind it, I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. So the meaning in a nutshell, in one word, and we'll do a bit of this in the future because I've got another question that we'll get into, so we might do something in the future around it, but in a nutshell, the theory is that there won't be enough resources to meet population growth, and that kind of struck a chord in terms of like what it meant for the Industrial Revolution, but also where we are now.
I've heard some stuff on the
Boom.
internet though that it's the other way around.
No.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
There's not enough people. We're entering an economic winter.
That's
The
not what the
age
Malthusian
of
Trap is.
deceit.
No, an
Yeah,
economic
that's not
winter.
he's just giving the definition, though, isn't it?
That's not what the Malthusian Trap is. I'm just giving the definition of the
No, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I suppose he's answering the question.
Yeah, but I don't think that's true. There's not enough resources, man.
I don't think that's true.
There ain't enough resources
What? How do you know?
Well,
because there's loads of people starving to death.
yeah, but even if there were, people have always starved to death.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's never been enough resources.
No, we need more.
but is the Malthusian Trap about food?
It's about all sorts, like
Ryan's done a short explanation there.
society's demands for resources outstripping the availability, causing widespread shortages.
Oh, okay, so it is about food.
It's about food, but also as well about jobs as well. Like it's to do with machinery as well, and how machinery can make people obsolete in
Yeah,
terms
but-
of.
Sorry, go on. Yeah, I got told off for interrupting last time. Sorry.
Yeah, by your
Yeah.
missus.
Yeah.
No, go on. I'm finished now.
I was gonna say, going back to my point of there's not enough people, right? Is what was it? 2.4 kids was the average, wasn't it? Is it 2.4?
Yeah.
Well, no,
Well,
that's enough so that your
Yeah, so
way of life
so
and a
society.
culture will maintain itself, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're
2.4?
below that in Western Europe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So
I think we are. I
how
think
do you
they
work
are in
that out?
Eastern Europe as well, aren't they?
Huh?
I thought it was Europe as
Yeah,
a whole.
Europe as a
is-
whole. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, in the Western world, then.
Yeah,
So how
so
do-
I don't understand how they can say that. I mean, maybe the world is overpopulated. I don't really know because I've never counted
the world's
everyone
bigger than Europe, though, isn't it? So it's 1.59 at the minute per female.
per
That-
female.
that's-
By one.
That's terrible.
That's a whole person.
Yeah, but maybe there's more females though as well.
Not
do you know
popping
what I'm saying?
enough babies out.
Yeah, but maybe there's more females now than there were when 2.4.
That's
children
all right.
was.
That's happy days for all the youngsters out there, isn't
You
it?
know what I mean? So maybe that's deceiving. Hang on, let's have a look at.
I
the
don't
world
really know. I don't really know.
in world.
But the point is that there are people that are starving to death, but there's always been people that are starving to death, and I wonder how much that's declined or increased since, the Industrial Revolution and whatnot. I would think that
goes
surely less people.
It goes back to robots. So global average for fertility rate is just below 2.5 children per woman globally, according to Google.
Mate, you got to stop that crunching into
I'm
the
sorry.
microphone.
I'm sorry.
Seriously,
Sorry, pair drops.
it's well annoying
I'm
just
sorry.
sitting here.
I know, yeah.
I was trying to do it off mic.
So the where were we? So we talked about global population, and you said something while I was fact checking because I've become Jamie. The robots.
Who's
Just
Joe?
Who's Joe?
Yeah.
Don't know.
So
Who is
you're Joe, surely.
I'm Joe and Jamie.
Yeah, Joe Jamie.
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 Robots. Robots are going to mess everything up in it. And then the Malthusian Trap, the next version of it is going to be to do with robots taking the jobs, and then there won't be any need for food because robots don't need food.
You know what the word robot stands for?
Don't know.
Machines.
No. Slave in Czech or something like that.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's interesting, yeah.
So
Robotnik, is it? Or something like
Only in Czech, though.
what, like doctor?
No other languages. In
Dr.
the ancient
Robotnik.
language of Czech. It's scrawled on a
ancient
cave
language.
outside,
Yeah.
I don't know, some strip club in Prague.
In Brummagem.
Brummagem.
Robotic.
In Brummagem.
But yeah, we'll probably do something on the Malthusian Trap in the future. We was talking about getting someone in and having a chat about it, and I don't know,
Someone that knows it.
learning about it.
Yeah, we
But
got a philosopher possibly lined up, haven't we?
Someone that knows something about it. Anyway.
Dr. Brian Cox is going to be on the show. Big
Oh,
up
yeah.
Dr.
Oh,
Brian
man,
Cox.
he could go into Culture Test Corner.
What, tonight?
Not tonight, though, no.
I'd have to save him, though, because he's done D-Ream in it on the keyboard. So,
Oh, he's so annoying. Anyway.
but yeah, I don't know how
universe
close
is
we are to it
massive.
as a civilization. To be honest, I do think robots are a genuine threat to humanity. Just because I watched Terminator the other week,
And then we watched loads of that Boston.
and going Ryan Smith's coming in with 0 premature mortality.
Read it
will
out
be
properly.
I am doing
You're mumbling
He's
it.
got-
to maintain. I'm reading it. What do you want me to do? I don't know if you
Read
know
it
how
out
reading
to people.
works.
Read it out
They
to
can
people.
see it, you muppet.
Yeah, well, I can't see it, can I? Neither can he, and he
Oh
can't
my
hear you
God.
properly.
Okay.
All right, yeah, that's a
Smith
good point.
says, With 0 premature mortality, that
Fucking-
figure should be 2.0 to maintain an exactly stable population. Less than that, and the population is in danger of decreasing.
Yeah, but is he sure about
I
that's
believe
keeping it
it
stable?
becomes irreversible at something like 1.4, but don't quote me. I don't know if it can become irreversible because when people
might
just
go
start,
mad shagging.
Yeah, exactly, people just start having sex again.
What,
It's
having
not about
again?
sex,
It's not
it's
about not having
babies.
Of course
Yeah.
it is.
It's
about procreation.
Yeah, it's just about having sex, isn't it? Not enough.
Well, so every time you have sex, you have a baby.
I do, yeah.
Well, so you've had sex once.
Yeah. Just the once. Moving on. I have a question from my partner, Carly Jones.
Hang on, we didn't answer that question.
Which one?
How close has it got?
We just said we don't know, but robots are going to mash it up, blood.
Brian's just said,
Okay.
should I type louder?
No.
Yeah, type louder.
No, don't type louder.
In capitals.
Anyway, next question, yeah? So this is a music question. This comes from Carly Jones.
Carly Jones.
What female artists are we into, past or present?
Oh, Susie and the Banshees.
I don't really know much Susie and Banshees. She do a bit of wailing.
Wailing.
Like a banshee.
Oh, I see.
That's what a banshee
No, I
is,
like
isn't
Susie
it?
and the
It's a
Banshees.
wailing ghost. Woo.
Blondie as well. Decent.
Blondie.
Yeah, like Blondie.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it
I
out
like
there. I like Madonna. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Nah.
Lucky Star, what a tune.
I've got to say, right, I'll tell you what album I love of Madonna's is,
Music.
What was that one?
The one with
Poison.
Ali
one,
G.
the one. Shut up, man. Ray of Light, that's it.
Is that the one you had on in the
Beautiful
car?
stranger.
Yeah, that one with all the breakbeats.
Really?
Ali G.
It's got a load of breakbeat tunes on there.
I like the
one with-
Nails that album,
Oh, is
man.
it Poison? The one where, like, in the music video.
Remedy.
I got the remedy.
I
Yeah,
got
that
the
one.
poison.
That's her, isn't it? That's her singing. I got the remedy.
I'm not
No.
really into Madonna, but as
I
an
do, I like
iconic
Madonna.
artist, I think you have to give her a props in terms of like, yeah, fair enough. But
I mean,
Don't get me wrong,
All-
though. She is absolutely redundant now.
I don't know. She did that thing at Eurovision.
just really,
Yeah, proved my point.
Yeah, but most artists get to that stage, like the Rolling Stones or the Who. That new Who.
Oh,
tunes.
yeah, that's terrible.
Terrible.
The opening line sums it all up. I know you're gonna hate this song.
But that's
Yes.
male artists, so we'll what
Yeah.
are you saying?
I was going to say, there's loads, isn't there? Blondie,
Yeah,
Madonna.
loads throughout the time. I like the Slits as well.
Classic ones like Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great one.
I mean, even if you said male ones, I'd be going.
Yeah, right. I tell you what, Billie Eilish isn't overly offensive to me.
No, my daughter's into her, and
I can listen to
I
it.
have to say, I have to say with her, not my daughter, Billie Eilish, is, you know, when I see her listening to it, I'm not like, oh, what are you listening to
Yeah.
that for?
That's what I mean.
You know, I've got to give kudos, like, you know, but she's going to be massive. So
She already is, though, isn't
Yeah.
she? She's well up there now.
I don't know. It's like I had a load in my head before we went on live, and I've forgotten them all. But I don't know. Like I liked the Cranberries.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Dolores had a great voice.
Nina Simone.
Yeah.
Nina Simone's a good one.
Some
Not
of the
that I know her
Cardigans
back
as well. I mean,
catalogue,
that's-
but some of her tracks are amazing.
I'm just going to chuck this out there because there's someone I like who people don't like. Well, a lot of people like her, but it's not like kind of cool to say that you like her. Tina Turner, innit? Tina Turner,
great one.
mate, what a great artist.
Could you not
Well, I
just
thought-
could you not
I
think of
thought-
a female artist
No,
and
no.
thought I've thought of one?
You know what? A lot of people say she is
Tina.
simply the best.
Nah, mate, Nutbush City Limits tune. What a tune.
Did she do that with Ike?
She did, yeah, but then she did the one with Phil Spector, the Wall of Sound one.
Yeah.
I got that on my iPod. I can't remember what it's called though.
No.
Banging tune. And then
Banging.
also as well, like I don't know, like people like Candy Staton and Donna Summer.
Donna Summer.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Going back, Nancy Sinatra.
No, I'm not really into it.
You don't like these
Well, I can
boots
appreciate
were
that
made
shit,
for walking.
Yeah, the drum and
No.
bass.
I mean,
remix
the
was
thing
good.
is, right.
What's the other one? My baby shut me down.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, Audio Bullies remix of that.
Yeah.
That's a tune. But I don't know.
Yeah.
The
I mean, the
lyric
thing
makes
is,
it, innit?
the thing is that I kind of don't look at it like that.
Neither do I.
you? Oh, just
If it's a good
female
tune-
artist, it's a male artist.
If it's a good tune, it's a good tune.
You just listen to the music, don't you? I mean, I listen to
course.
loads of bands, artists, and I don't even take the name down. I think, oh, that's a good tune, like on Radio 6 or whatever, or KEXP.
Yeah.
And I just forget who they are. And if I look back now, I think probably 50-50 of men, women that I've just listened to. And
The Spice Girls are mega, Kyle.
Kyle
Kyle's
into
just said,
the-
what about the Spice Girls?
Yeah, they're
You know
all
what,
right.
yeah? Big up the Spice Girls. They're doing their thing. Respect
they're
to them.
horrendous.
Chalking
though,
up
aren't they?
lines on the table behind him in that reunion photo. Did you ever see that?
What with, I don't know, but they've partied with Liam Gallagher as well, so I reckon they're proper sesh heads.
Just go to Google and type, not you, but anyone listening that cares or watching, just type in
Spice Girls, drugs.
Spice Girls drug photo. And there's a picture of them, they're all like, hello, we're back together again. And behind them, there's just like a little line chalked up on this.
Sinead O'Connor.
Sinead O'Connor, great artist.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
Nothing
there's loads of female
compares.
artists out
I
there.
met a producer who worked with her, actually.
Who?
Sinead O'Connor.
What, you met Sinead O'Connor?
No, I met a producer
She
who worked...
produces herself.
Yeah. No, sorry, I thought you meant who. I forgot his name. But she canned him off.
Really?
How
Yeah.
come?
He said in the studio she was... and it was like the album with the famous one on Nothing Compares, is it?
Yeah.
She was just like uninterested and he couldn't get her attention, like to get with the program or whatever you say, and she just sacked him off, and then she released that album with Nothing Compares on that was the
Went mega
biggest
big,
ever
yeah.
selling hit.
Do you know what that song's about?
KFC?
No, it's about a cat.
A cat?
Yeah.
Is it?
Is it
She
really?
lost her favourite cat.
Are you sure?
Nah. It's a bit snide now. I hope she's not watching. It's actually about her mum, when her mum died.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, even when it's living without your baby.
Yeah, it's about her mum. Promise you.
Is it really?
Yeah, Google it.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan, Google it. And if it don't,
All right, we'll
if I'm
come back.
wrong, tell
If
me I'm right.
someone gives us the answer, we'll come back to it in a minute.
But
Did
yeah,
she write a letter to Miley Cyrus or something when she was getting her baps out in that all the time?
don't know.
And she was like, you don't have to do that to be successful.
Maybe.
Do you remember that?
Don't know, but
Oh,
she had a
sounds
breakdown,
familiar,
didn't she, last year or the year before, Sinead O'Connor. She's not
That's
doing very
sad.
well.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Poor Sinead. Oh, fuck, we forgot Kate Bush as well.
oh yeah, she's class, man.
and Lily Allen.
Although, I just brought her up, but Miley Cyrus blew me away with her
She has
Glastonbury
got a good
performance
voice,
last
Miley
year.
Cyrus, to be fair to her.
It was amazing live.
I'm not into her.
I don't like the
I'm not
music,
into
don't
her,
get me
just
but
wrong.
She has got a good voice.
Straight
though.
down there.
Amazing voice live.
I mean, all the biggest artists at the moment are women, aren't they? Really? Well, a lot of them.
yeah,
Beyonce,
Rihanna, Beyonce,
Ed Sheeran.
Miley Cyrus.
Ed Sheeran.
yeah, does he fit into that category?
Ryan's just said, I heard my name. Google what? Google what Nothing Compares to You is about.
It's about.
Sinead O'Connor. And then if you find the answer within 20 seconds. You can come in and do this full time.
For free.
Next question. Right,
He's
cool.
going to get back to us with that question, and we'll be on
Yeah.
another subject.
Yeah, but that's cool. We'll
We'll
come
bring
back
it
to
back
it.
in.
We'll come
Okay.
back to it.
We'll wing it back in.
What's the next question?
Right, so
Oh, no.
we've got 2 more questions. Ryan, this one's your question. I'll do yours in a sec. Then we'll do a different one.
Yeah,
we'll do
we'll come back
Kyle's.
to Ryan.
Kyle Tripp with 2 P's.
2 P's,
Big
1
up.
T.
He bought the EP last week.
Yeah,
Make
nice
sure you
one,
tell
Kyle.
everyone
Nice one,
Proper appreciate that.
on the comments how good the EP is.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on Plymouth music scene and what can be done?
Oh my
About our
God.
thoughts or about the scene? I've seen loads of doctors and they can't do nothing about my thoughts. So fucked it, mate.
I don't know.
Someone start it off.
Maybe it's a bit clicky. I don't think we're in that click at the minute. But
No one likes us, really, do they?
I don't think
Not in this
we have
city.
a very good reputation.
Even if they like the music, I think they think we're all cunts, don't they? No?
I don't
But
know.
we're
I just don't think we don't play enough down here for the people to really know who we
Well,
are.
there's nowhere to play though, is there?
That's it.
I mean, there is, like, in terms of, like, the venues that we have played. Like, we played the Underground quite a few times, and there's sound in there. And then we played the Junction. It's all right in there, but it's hit and miss as to whether or not anyone comes out for anything.
Yeah. That's
So
it.
it's just like, but it's like that everywhere, though. I don't know. I think the Plymouth music scene, if I'm honest, there is a scene, but it's not a scene that really befits our kind of music. It's more like folky, innit?
Yeah,
And long
folky
hair, love
and
songs and
yes, and like summery, surfy, indie.
tickling bottoms.
Is metal still big on the scene down here?
don't
think
so.
it's never
still
really gone
about,
away,
it's
but I
not
don't-
Like, I don't think it's
I
massive.
mean, there's
is
a
it?
lot of metalheads down here. Not that's
They,
a bad
yeah,
thing,
I think
but
there used to be quite a big punk and metal scene. I'm sure there's a lot of punk and metal bands around town. That's all I ever really see.
there's a
but
lot
I
of
don't
punk
know.
because that's in vogue now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with,
Do you know what I
like, is it Idols?
Idols, yeah, they're
I
a
quite
good
like
band
them,
as
to be
well.
fair.
They were great at. I watched
Yeah,
the
but there's
Glastonbury
loads
thing.
of bands around at the minute. Fontaine, Sleaford Mods,
Apparently it's a cover.
Idols.
Is it?
Written by Prince and used for his side project, Family. I didn't.
That's Nothing Compares to You.
Yeah, I thought it
Is
was.
it really?
So that was
That's
It's about his
interesting.
mum, about a
So
mum.
what you said was a load
Maybe
of
it's about.
dog
Sure.
turd.
Maybe she sang it about a mum. Don't know. Hang on. I'm gonna have to.
Could be about anything. No.
Yeah.
But
Well,
in
they're
terms
going back
of-
to the
this is
music
good
scene. I
TV.
think there's. I
Watching
think there's a
Diamond
lot.
Google.
Yeah, right.
you can hold it
Google
up for
Watch.
2
Go
seconds.
on then,
Don't
sorry,
worry
go on.
about it.
I think there's a lot of bands around town. I think there's a lot going on. I think people should come out a bit more. But then it's difficult, isn't it? Because no one's got any money. So I can understand it from a consumer point of view, but it's very frustrating on this side of the fence when we obviously put a lot of time and effort into what we do, and you know,
Yeah.
most of the bands, if not all the bands, do the same.
It's the same with comes back down to promoters as well, doesn't it?
It
But
does,
that's
yeah.
not just the Plymouth
No, that's
thing.
everywhere. I think it's
I
everywhere
don't think
anyway.
I don't think there's a. I mean, how many decent promoters have we met who've put on a night? Apart from with the Junction,
I
they
think-
put on a pretty good night if they want to.
I think we've met decent people,
Yeah.
and I think we've met people that want to do good things, but maybe they aren't quite there just yet, or maybe they haven't built up their reputation enough just yet. But
yeah,
then
Callum
that's the same.
was sound yesterday.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
Callum was great last night. Nice to meet him. It was good to see him play as well, because I thought he had some good ideas.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
I think the problem with the promoters thing is we've seen this go into other cities, yeah, and I think other bands will like identify with this. Like you go and play somewhere and you go in good faith, like you go to a new city and you think that you're being put on for your tunes, yeah, and you'll get there and you think that the night's been promoted and it's not been promoted, or even worse, they've asked you to buy for tickets and you've got to basically pay to play. I think that's wrong. Like back in the day, promoters used to be sort of stood on in terms of standing on what kind of night they would provide for people.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm going to that club, I'm going to that night, that promoter because he or she
Yeah.
puts on the best bands.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But now it's just like they don't care. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? They want like bands who are going to bring in people to
Their mates, essentially.
like make money on the bar or whatever, which is fair enough. But how are bands supposed to build a following, an actual following that translates to bums on seats, if no one's going to actually put the groundwork into doing a good night?
That's it.
I mean,
tell
how
you
many
what-
bands have we played with who have got like 5,000, 6,000 followers on this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And they're tipped to be the next big thing. And we've played with them and we got there and they've not brought anyone there.
Yeah, that's it.
Is
Yeah.
it
No
just-
one's come to see him.
Exactly. It don't mean anything. You've got to put the groundwork in terms of promoting your
They're not
nights.
anywhere further up the food chain than us.
Or
No,
below
they-
us either.
No, not really.
That's the
They
thing.
could be even below us, yeah.
Well, they might
Some
not even be
people-
below us. They might be exactly on the same plane as us, but because they've done something or they've paid for something somewhere.
Maybe it'll come out of the, like, maybe people are not as clever as... No, I'm joking. People just think maybe social media is enough.
I
That's what
think
they
they
think.
think it's the answer.
It's
Like
the
it's the
answer.
only answer.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a solution or not. But when I was a kid and I used to walk around town, there's always people handing out flyers for gigs and stuff, and I haven't seen that
I don't think.
No.
I
for
think
like 4 years,
obviously,
5 years.
like I used to do the promotion before I moved down here up north, like ran nights all over the northwest, and it got increasingly more difficult to get people in. Particularly, I'd say it's particularly more difficult for live music because I don't know, people just don't want to come out and spend money anymore. They'd rather just go and do something else. They'd rather go to the pub and put some money in the jukebox. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, because it does. There are some brands that have branded themselves as the events that people will go to hear new music. But the problem with that is every person and the dog's trying to get on that. Do you know what I mean? It's like everyone's
Yeah.
applying for it. So it's really hit and miss. And then the other thing that's happened to live music is the festival scene is massive now. People
Yeah.
are more likely to go to a festival. People probably go to more festivals in 1 year than they do gigs,
Yeah.
on average.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then all the bands are like if we think blog writers are getting inundated with gig applications, the festivals, they must get like thousands
Yeah.
of them. So it's like, how do you decipher that kind of stuff?
It's difficult.
But there is a scene out there, and people are interested in what.
I
what
prefer
we're doing.
gigs, me, to be honest.
I prefer
Talking
a
of
gig to a
festivals.
festival.
I like festivals, but
I like playing festivals because then we can get a wreck up in it. Like when we went to Yachty Party, that was decent, man. That was funny.
yeah, I missed that one.
But yeah, Ryan, thanks for coming back to us on the cover. I thought I read or heard somewhere that she wrote it about her mum, but maybe she just sings it
He's
about
got
her mum.
probably about himself.
But it's
Prince.
actually it's a cover
yeah, it's
by
probably right,
Prince.
Yeah,
Ryan.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Love
nice
Prince.
one for coming back on that one.
R.I.P.
You were
Prince.
just outside the 20 seconds, so you got a few more weeks before you can
Yeah.
come in and do your internship. Ryan, we'll come to your question now. Kyle, nice one for that question.
Nice one, Carl.
Nice one, Carl.
Nice one for buying the EP. I'll drop your palpitations as well, like I said in a email tomorrow. Right.
Culture test available at
Oh, look who's just popped up on
We'll come
Tintin.
to you in a minute, Richard, isn't it? Hang on one sec. Right. So Ryan, your question, yeah. Right. When are we going to play Ivy Bridge? And will we have any guests on? I'm presuming the guests is to do with the podcast. I don't think we're going to play Ivy Bridge anytime soon. You know what I mean? And not that we wouldn't. It's just that they're in a venue that's going to have a decent enough PA for us. In the sense of we have to be a bit precious about the sound. Because otherwise, because we don't have a drummer, it can become like a real effort to play venues that don't have a decent PA, decent monitoring. But we're not adverse to playing anywhere. We actually did a secret gig in Ivy Bridge earlier on in the year.
Oh, yeah, the one we filmed.
Yeah, we've got some footage that's going to come out probably after Christmas, or I don't know, might even come out at Christmas. But yeah, we did do a secret gigs. Guests for the show. Do you want to take that?
Oh, we're always open
Yeah,
for guests.
not averse to that at all. So, just has to be the right kind of guest, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess we're not going to attract anyone massive to start with.
Let's get Joe Rogan on.
No, I'll ring him in a minute. But yeah, we would like some guests. Maybe it'd be good, if you can put in the comments, not in the chat, or maybe in the chat. I don't know, in the comments or whatever.
I think the chat will go to B comments.
It didn't last week, but anyway, we
you
won't
sure?
have a conversation on that. No, there's only one comment from
All right.
from last week.
Well, write us a message on the old
but,
Facebook or something, isn't it?
The guests, if you guys want to give some comments in the video or in the live chat, whatever, about what kind of guest you would like on. That would be a good one, because then we can start to think about it. But don't be ambitious and start saying like Ian Brown and nothing.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, give him a message and see what happens.
But yeah, we do want to do the guests. We're just going to invest in like, we're doing this off a webcam, so we'll probably do. We're just going to invest in getting some better equipment. The sound, we've already kind of sorted the sound, so the video element of it will be
Hopefully.
sorted. And
How's
then
it
after
sounding?
Christmas, I reckon we'll get some guests in.
Does it sound good?
Don't know what you're looking at me for.
Well, I don't know. You got headphones to listen
said
and check the audio.
I'm not plugging that in. It's got on like a 30-second delay.
Oh, okay.
Does it sound good? Just wait for 30 seconds.
Wait for it.
You know what I mean? Right, Richard. Big up, Richard.
Yeah, and I saw his name pop up on the feed.
Who's
Read it
Richard?
out.
Who's
Good
Richard?
Love your work.
All right, he's got a question, yeah?
Who
thanks,
is he? Who
thanks
is
for buying
Richard?
an EP as well, Richard. He pushed me down an escalator in London. That's who he is. You bastard.
Funniest thing ever.
He says, love your work, confession time. Have you ever stolen anything from someone? And if so, what?
Yeah, I have actually.
Yeah, Doug, you nearly stole something off me when we were shooting that music video.
What was that?
Nearly nicked my T-shirt, you bastard. I saw you put it in there. And then I was like, did you just put my T-shirt in your bag?
No, I was going to
Cheeky
say,
bastard.
I stole a very rare Star Wars figure when I was very young off someone. Well, I stole a few.
You stole them all, didn't you?
No, I didn't steal them all. I just took the rare ones.
So the ones that cost the most, yeah.
Well, no, because it was all the same price-ish.
Did you sell them?
About a few years back, yeah.
You tight bastard.
Yeah, but I'd stolen them like, what,
About a week before.
20 years? Yeah. Yeah, so I've stolen other things in my
That's a
life.
good question, because I can't really think yet. I have actually stolen quite a few things. Like, you know, when you just think, oh, that's cool, or just, I'm having that.
I've never stolen off a person.
No, not like from
No?
someone's house or
No.
anything like that.
That's where I stole my Star Wars figures.
Oh, dearie me.
He's on those
No, I've
wrong,
never
isn't it?
stolen off a
Deary me,
person.
Doug
like that.
Bishop.
I've been robbed.
I've stole
Bastards.
some food.
Blood. Top boy over here. Stole the full blood.
I
Get
tell you
some
what,
paper.
I remember when I was a kid, and you know when you're like trying to fit in and that when you're a kid. I mean, I was like 11, younger than that maybe. And you know when like the bigger boys like try and get you to do something to act like street and cool.
Yeah.
They told me to go into a corner shop and like nick some sweets. So I went in and I was nervous as fuck. And I waited for the person behind the counter to look the other way, and I grabbed some sweets, chucked it up my jumper and walked out. Got outside, caved under the pressure, ran back in and threw him on the thing.
Really?
Yeah. And she ran out after me and going, "Don't do it again." No, I
know.
never did.
I've never
I never
stolen
did.
from a corner shop, but threw some fireworks in a corner shop once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've stolen food from Damon's house because the one time I went there, right, he had some strawberries, and he said, "Have some strawberries," and he gave me one strawberry.
Strawberries means two.
I mean,
Once.
I got to be honest, yeah. How many times does he bring this up? It's like a daily
It's like every
occurrence.
week, yeah.
I know,
It's
like,
at least
One
once a week.
Christ, get over it,
strawberry.
mate.
If
But
it
then
was
you
my
can't.
house,
The thing is with Doug, you can't have anything around him.
I know.
Like I've
Like a
had
gannet.
these pear drops on the table for a
and
while
I've
now,
not eaten
and
one.
he's not had one, and I'm a little bit like, right, I remember that. I'll buy pear drops again.
Yeah.
I know, man. Honestly, there's loads of stuff like that might come into my head afterwards, but I can't think on the spot. I'm always on the lookout for a cheeky something to have for free. Do you know what I mean? Because I just think you've got to, like, why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Because I like the self-service checkouts because you can just like wing a few things. Like I bought some pizzas.
You get the organic stuff and put them through as the
Yeah, but you
regular
can-
shit.
Do
Do you know what I mean?
Don't put
Organic
something through.
potatoes.
It's like,
I'll put them through as the regular.
every little helps, innit? So if you buy in your like
Every little
you
helps.
buy in your like toilet paper or whatever, just put it on the floor and don't put it through and then walk off because toilet paper's expensive, you know. It's just good for getting 5-finger discount. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think nothing too fantastic off the top of my head. There's probably loads of like memorabilia or stuff that I might have like nicked from clubs and stuff like that when I've been clubbing, or I stole Cox's band off him the one time.
Yeah, he did do that.
Had you split up or not?
I don't know.
What?
The Velvet Swans.
Doesn't
What
really matter.
was stolen?
I stole his bandmate off him, but then he wormed his
No,
way
we'd
back
split
in
up.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't worm my way back in. You asked me.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
joking.
just
Yeah.
took over completely
I've
and made
stolen
a
a
success out
laptop
of it.
before.
Oh yeah.
Many, many years ago when I was
Jesus
working at this
Christ,
place.
who
I
are
know.
you?
Who are you?
I know. Yeah. What's this?
I was only like 17.
Kane Dingle over here.
But you stole a laptop when you were 17. It must have been like a fucking.
It weren't actually a laptop.
Yeah,
really.
right. It was a
like,
It's
fucking.
not the only thing you've stolen, though, is it?
what we on about now? Oh
You
no,
stole his
yeah.
heart.
Rich is on about his stick. That's why he's asked it. I was racking my
His stick?
brain for ages.
Stole a stick.
You stole a stick.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the story?
You're gonna
or
have
is
to
it
now,
too
because what the
early?
fuck does that mean?
It was basically we went to Romania and I conned Richard into buying a house there.
You conned him.
No, I didn't. I was his real estate agent, and he's had a massive return on that house. Let me just say that. Anyway, he found this stick, and you know sticks when you're younger.
How old
know.
were you? 5.
It was like
I was his
30.
real estate agent.
You're 13.
30.
30.
Yeah. But you know, a good stick is a stick. A good stick. Do you know what I mean?
Well, let me tell you now, I'm 30 and I don't give a fuck about sticks.
Well, yeah. He found this stick, and I stole it and hid it off him because I like that stick. Because it was
what
in
do
the
you mean it was a
mountains.
stick?
It was like a walking stick, you know what I mean? We
So
were in
you
the
stole
mountains.
a stick that you found in the woods?
But he kept it safe, and I found out where he kept it.
Tell you what, if there's
What
an
kind of
apocalypse,
relationship do you have where you have to hide sticks from each other?
if there's an apocalypse,
You know what I
right?
mean?
If there's an apocalypse, right, and the world ends, I'm running away from Doug because I think he would just steal anything that you've got. He'd be like, "Oh, I just found this T-shirt," and it would just be gone the next minute.
No, I wouldn't steal from my friends, apart from sticks.
What about him?
Stick
What
man.
about your mate with the Star Wars figures? He stole all that.
Yeah, I was like 6.
Well, it was like 2 weeks ago. You tried to steal my T-shirt.
That was an accident. It looked the same colour
of
as
course it
mine.
did, yeah.
Stick man over here?
Anyway, yeah.
Stick man.
Sticks are life. I don't know. I'm not
You've
sure.
got to appreciate a good stick.
Yeah,
Come
when it's on
man.
the fire burning. Boom, warm.
Mate, when you're in the country,
Boom.
in the wild, do you know what I
In the
mean?
wild, what do I need a stick for?
To help you up like steep embankments.
I've got these mad things
to
called
hit
my
people
legs
with. There was wolves
To
in that
hit
area.
people with.
in that. So yeah, you versus a
Hit
wolf with a
people
stick.
with.
There were
Yeah,
wolves.
right. Come here, you
A
bastard.
wild boar.
Wow, yeah, I think wild boar are really scared of sticks, isn't it?
It is in
You
my
don't even
hand.
have to hit them with it.
I'll
they
get
just
kung
wave
fu
it
on
and
him.
Run off.
Get Bruce Lee on his ass.
Shaolin.
Bruce Lee on his ass.
Get Wu-Tang on him.
Yeah, right.
I think we should move on now anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the questions.
Thanks for the questions.
You need to send us some more questions next week. That was, yeah, some good questions.
Yeah, nice one for the questions.
Yeah, that was good.
Carl's
Who-
just said Gandalf the Grey over there.
Oh.
I think we'll
Just for men.
move on to the first subject.
GFM.
GFM represent.
My subject, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Doug's going to hit everyone with
Oh,
a bit
my-
of knowledge.
My no, it's an observation more than anything.
Why are you allowed to get away
Oh,
with
yeah.
observations? I wasn't
no,
allowed to
because
get away with my one observation. You've had an observation like for the last 4 weeks running.
Well, it is a subject still.
Oh, go on then.
Where have all, right?
The
what I've
cowboys gone.
Where have all the Oliver Reeds of this world gone?
They're dead from alcoholism.
Yeah.
No, and the Alex Higginses, yeah, all right, yeah, but you know the real like
Alex Higgins.
characters.
There's a blast from the past.
The
We had beef
characters.
with his son at school.
Did you?
Yeah, I won't say his name because that'd be unfair. Because then all my fans might go after him. You know what I mean? But yeah, we had our little crew had beef with his little crew. He lived near me. Alex Higgins. He was.
Who's Alex Higgins then?
Snooker player.
Snooker player,
Maverick.
I don't know
absolutely-
snooker.
What?
legend snooker
I
player.
have no
One
idea
of the
about
most
snooker.
gifted snooker players like you'd ever come across. Naturally, just like amazing. But he was just off his rocker, mate. He was like
Yeah.
a rock star with it.
Yeah. I was going to mention another one
Alex
then. George
Higgins.
Best, another Alki.
Oh, yeah,
George
Where have
Best.
all the Alkies gone in this
All the
world?
alki- the world-class alkies.
I'm
Yeah,
having a go.
I'm on about people with a bit of character. Do you know what I mean? I mean, like, not a massive fan of his music. Liam Gallagher, he's
He's
got a bit of something
yeah.
about him. He's himself.
But you could say Bradley Wiggins was a character.
Yeah, Bradley Wiggins as well. Yeah,
What, from Coronation Street?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's Bradley Walsh, innit?
And
I don't like Bradley Wiggins.
Lance Armstrong.
Yeah.
Although he wasn't really, I don't follow cycling, but I didn't strike him as a personality.
Gaza.
Gaza,
but
yeah.
What about
Gaza.
Paul Gaza. Bless him.
he does have a personality though.
He does
To him.
now, but only because I've seen his podcast and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I don't follow cycling, so I've never really heard him like,
Ooh, Lance Armstrong.
yeah, being like a.
I
bit of a
don't
knob
know
or
what to
whatever.
think. I've heard he's all right.
I like his podcast. It's funny, man. Especially when he sat there with his jerseys. Remember? Have you seen that picture?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But I don't
Yeah,
know.
but where
Lance
have they
Armstrong isn't George Best, though, is he? George Best was an absolute full-on legend. And no one ever mentions him in terms of the best players. Like, honestly.
It's because he packed
Maybe
in, didn't he? At 26 or whatever it was.
Unbelievable player. But he was a pop star as well. Like, his house, he had this famous house in Cheadle Hulme, purpose-built at the time. It's like, there's video of it on YouTube and all that, of like, it's like the futuristic house of the era. It was down the road from where my gran lived. It doesn't look so great now, but it's still, though, every time you go past, it's like, that's George Best's house. Or was, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, these people are like, they're like love to be hated kind of people almost, aren't they? In a way.
Was George
Not all
Best
of
like
them.
that, though?
I don't know, I think he
I'm
was
not saying
loved, though,
George
innit?
Best was, but, you know, like Alex Higgins was. People hate him but love to hate him. Bradley Wiggins is another one. But there's not many characters out there. What about musicians now out there who've got a bit of edge to them and, you know, you think, huh?
I don't know.
I mean,
think of any.
yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone's got to be professional, isn't it?
I think we're a bit.
Everything's just way professional and like, oh,
Yeah.
no, we can't do this because we can't upset the masses.
Yeah, can't call
Yeah,
it
that-
shut up.
That annoys me. Yeah, you can't call people dickheads, can you?
But at the minute, the musician thing, there's no. I just think it's all manufactured. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if it is manufactured
is,
in that
mate,
respect. I think people are just wary
all
of
right, cool.
these people might be able to help me down the
seen
line.
Wolf Alice at Glastonbury when I watched it at home in the living room. And they did this like kind of thing where like they kind of got a bit like smashy with the guitars and that, and it just, you know, when I watch it, it's just like that's
You don't believe it?
It's music by numbers. It's like, oh, we threw a television out the
That's
window.
my mate you're talking about
I
there.
don't really care. I'm not being mean about them, so it's not. I'm not slagging them off. I'm just saying that it's just like with bands and music, it's like everything kind of looks like it's choreographed.
Yeah, it's
There's
a bit
no
like you
kind
say,
of
I
like
mean,
passion behind it or like spur of the moment kind of thing. But I can't think of anyone.
Sleaford
modern
Mods, maybe.
day.
Yeah, Sleaford Mods maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sleaford Mods. Yeah, the Idols.
although they've become a bit of a
The
parody of
Idols.
Or
themselves.
Idols.
Idols, yeah, but then they're very liberal chaps anyway, though, aren't they?
It doesn't matter that they're liberal.
They
No,
come
but I mean,
across as,
like,
off the cuff, like
I think
characters, like who
I think
will
that
go down in
themselves-
history
the
as
lead
like.
singer's a bit of an eccentric. You could say
I
that.
think that
I
they
can't
are
really comment
themselves.
because I don't know them that
I
well.
think they are genuine with what they do, but I don't think they're in the bracket of like just being I don't know. They're quite. I think they're quite well to do, but like I said, that's not an issue. I tell you who is.
They're still quite a new band, though.
Rich
so,
thinks the Idols. He likes them. I remember. Yeah, look.
I tell you who is. Slow Tie,
I like Slow Tie,
because he is.
but
he
I
don't
don't
give a
know.
fuck, though.
I don't know. I don't know. The
I don't think he cares.
time will tell with Slow
I
Tie. I,
honestly
think.
don't think he gives a shit. He do
I
what
like
he
him.
wants.
I like his music.
But I don't know.
I like his
isn't
music
I
videos as well.
suppose, like, is there anyone that's just off the Reds?
I think time's
Pete
moved on
Doherty
from
was
that,
off his
though.
noodle,
Yeah, but
I
that
don't
was
really
like
rate
Time
him,
has
though.
moved on, but you can still have an edge to you, can't you? Surely.
Yeah, but it's that creative industry thing where people don't want to upset someone because they might be related to someone, or
I don't know.
they
what's,
might be able to help them
It's
out
just
down
so
the line.
boring
I tell
and
you-
average.
I
You know
know
what,
it
I've
is.
got
It's
one,
just
yeah.
very.
Come on.
I have
No one's
genuinely
got.
got one that's like
Go on.
slightly left field that you wouldn't think. Who's the one that done? You're beautiful.
Who, James
James
Blunt?
Blood,
He
yeah.
don't give a shit.
Yeah,
man.
fair play.
He shuts everyone down.
He
Fair
does
play.
actually,
His
yeah.
music
He's
is
You know what I mean?
terrible,
It's
but he is a
Twitter.
terrible,
character.
But like that guy does not give a shit.
Do you-
He
what was
proper
it?
Shut it down.
What was it he said on like a New Year's Eve not too long ago? He was like, anyone looking forward to 2017 is going to be disappointed because I'm releasing music
got new
this year.
Yeah,
music
that's
out.
it,
Man, fair play to that.
I
Yeah,
remember
fair
someone
play to him.
slagged him off, and I can't remember the actual response, but it was really witty and about something like, "I'll be sitting in my 6-bedroom mansion. What will you be doing?" or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he
Fair
is
play to
decent. But then I don't know, like if you expand it out, I don't even know if there's any actors. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
They're
everyone-
Whacking Phoenix.
don't know.
Joaquin
You know.
Phoenix. Yeah, I think
he is,
he
man.
is a bit out there as well, isn't
Heath
he?
Ledger was.
Keanu Reeves, you could say, is a bit of
Oh,
a
Jim-
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. Yeah,
but
He was off his head.
yeah,
He
but
is
where are
off his
they
head.
now? They get fucked off the
Jim
screen,
Carrey's
don't
still
Yeah, because
massive.
they
though.
don't want. This is the
Keanu
problem.
Reeves is a massive actor.
Well,
He's
they can do
making
it
He's
on
doing
their
Bill
own.
and Ted.
Bill and Ted 3. Yeah,
Mate, you
makes
can't say, "Oh, where are they now?" They get fucked off the screen. They get fucked off the
Well,
Well,
screen.
they're not
for being
alcoholics,
madheads.
though, are they?
Joaquin
So you just
Phoenix.
want an alcoholic,
You just
innit?
want an alcoholic. They don't live long, mate.
But yeah, no, I think maybe that might be the problem. Maybe people do just because everything's so commercialised and there's so much money involved that people get sacked off prematurely if
Yeah.
they're a little bit different. It's like we've had it in the sense of like,
Well, have we?
well, we have had it like whenever.
Sacked off from that British Home Stores advert.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to talk about that. It's too raw.
Yeah.
That bastard still owes us money, Philip Green. If I see him in the
Philip
street,
Green.
I'm after him.
Anyway, sorry, what was you saying?
Like you're gonna see him. As well.
The no, people have said it to us though. It's like because you can be outspoken and then people just kind of like put you in a bracket. We've had it before. It's like, why are you saying that? Like you're not even a big band. It's like because we've got a fucking personality and an opinion, and I think that's the problem. And people like they try to put themselves as something that's devoid of it, and I just think the truth comes out. It's just like if you've got
Yeah.
nothing to say and you're bland, then you're not going to have any kind of longevity doing anything, are you? So
Not only that, a feedback loop of positivity just dumbs down creativity. If you're going, this is brilliant, and it's a pile of shit, then people are reinforced to make shit because, well, I got a pat on the back for that shit I made last time, even though they might think it's brilliant. But if you tell someone that they're great
Shabba.
when they're shit, shabba,
um,
it's going to be shabbatastic,
Richard
isn't
said
it?
Benedict Cumberbatch. Man, I fucking hate that guy, man.
I think he's a great actor.
Was he Culture Test Corner?
We did
He didn't
try
go
to
in
get
though,
him
did
in
he?
Culture Test Corner, Benedict. I can't stand him. I really can't. I call him Benedict Cunty Snatch.
Conti
I
Snatch.
fucking can't stand him. Ryan's just said, talking of reprobate actors, my mum used to drink in the same boozer as Oliver Reed.
Oh,
I
he's
bet
a
they
there
have
you
some
go.
good nights in there. Know what I mean?
he's a ledge, isn't he, really? Let's be honest.
He is a ledge.
I can't
He
remember who it is, but someone that we know is related to someone that used to drink with Ozzy. I think it was Rob.
Ozzy who?
Ozzy
Ozzy
Osbourne.
Osbourne, yeah.
Rob ain't related to
No,
Ozzy Osbourne.
his mother,
His
I
mum used to
think.
live next door to fucking, or her friend
To Ozzy,
used
wasn't
to
it?
live next door to Ozzy Osbourne's mum.
Yeah, but they used to
Something
go
like that,
drinking
wasn't it?
together. Well, that's what Rob said anyway. That would have been class, wouldn't it, back in the day, drinking with Ozzy?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Not really. I'm not really into
He's
him.
one of the most eccentric musicians that's like ever been.
I'm not really
I'll
into
tell
him,
you one
know.
who only died recently, who'd been around for years. Lemmy.
Lamar.
Apparently he was a bit of a knob, though.
Was it? Don't matter.
Well,
Was it?
apparently.
Who?
Lemmy.
Who are you talking about? Lamar.
Motorhead.
Oh, right, Motorhead.
Ace of
Lamar.
Spades and all that. Lamar.
Sean Ryder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although he's clean now, isn't he? So
Well, it don't matter that he's gone clean.
But
That's
he's
a good
still-
thing, man.
Yeah,
Because
of course
he
it
was
is.
fucking addicted to drugs. and
Yeah,
that, so
heroin and that, wasn't it?
But
Well-
I guess I don't know. There isn't anyone that's come. I guess
he's got
post-
character though, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's in
yeah,
himself
yeah, he's
and
funny.
you
He's
know.
charming.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. He's got charisma.
I'd go out with him.
Yeah, you.
Johnny Rotten, John Lydon.
What, selling country life?
Oh no, he wasn't a drinker or anything, was he?
It doesn't
we
matter
need
for
to
that,
go
honestly.
past that. We need to go
Well, I
into a
thought
modern
he was
age.
talking about piss heads.
I know, but I was just thinking their character. They had big personalities, though, didn't
Well,
they?
you can't get bigger than John Lydon.
Can't get bigger than Oliver Reed.
Well,
Can't get bigger than Lamar.
Anyway, is that enough for my subject? Do you think? Sorry, I'm just cutting it off. We'll get tied off for that
Don't know,
later.
have you got anything to add to that discussion?
no, I think we covered.
It's a good,
Yeah, quite
good
well.
subject, that, because I do think things have been like watered down a bit. Do you know
Exactly.
what I mean?
That's what it comes down to, doesn't it? In a nutshell.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
dumbing down
we're
of
going to talk about
stuff.
stuff later, so I won't go into what I was going to say because it'll give away what we're going to talk about. But it's across the board with other things. It's in film. It's in even in radio. It's in everything. Just everyone's just bland and boring, and it's like just.
I'll tell you what,
innit?
actually. No, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, Blur
Right.
said that. What was their song called? Blur song. Everything's average now. What is it?
You know, coffee and telly.
Blur. I don't know.
Silence.
Oh, I can't remember.
is
Anyway, yeah.
golden, golden.
I'll get piss taken out of me for that off Rich. But yeah.
It's all right. There's a 30-second delay. So we've gone by that.
Cut it.
Right, it's my subject. I'm just going to come in, with Christmas.
Oh, don't.
It's coming, man. The holidays.
Did you realise that it was literally November the 12th, day after Remembrance Day, that bang, Christmas adverts?
That's what my subject is, Christmas
Oh,
adverts. I'm
sorry.
glad. No, it's good. It's seamless, man. It's like we're on the same wavelength. What is it with these Christmas adverts?
Oh, I don't know. Have you seen Sainsbury's?
That's what it was.
Oh my
That's
God!
the one.
I
Have you
haven't
seen
seen
it?
it. No.
Mate,
Did you
it's
know that
fucking
Jay
terrible.
Sainsbury's is responsible for Christmas?
Yeah, man. They've created Father Christmas. This advert's the
Look,
most
Coca-Cola.
terrible
Well,
advert ever.
I mean, they're basically taking responsibility. I mean, it's like one of those fairy tale-esque.
This kid steals something or gets accused of stealing something.
He
in this,
doesn't. He
like,
doesn't steal.
Yeah, no, it gets accused of
He gets
stealing
accused
it. That's what I said.
It's like Victorian era, Dickensian kind of
this,
thing.
More, you want more
Yeah.
kind of scene.
Yeah.
And then
Dickensian.
he gets like, I don't know, like taken away and locked up, and this like greengrocer like sees it. This greengrocer woman who's presumably
Who's Jay Sainsbury's missus? Because
but-
he calls her Mrs. Sainsbury's.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, why it's not Mr. Sainsbury, I don't know. We'll go into that another time. And then it's like, she goes and she's like, but it wasn't him, and no one listens to her. And then she goes and breaks him out and goes,
Because he gets banished.
I know it isn't you. And then she gives him something, but then he's got special powers, and then he goes off and there's some like reindeer, and it's like, oh my God, he's going to grow up to be Father Christmas. Massive. You know what I mean?
And then he
It's just
delivers.
stupid.
I've not seen it.
He delivers
terrible.
oranges. He delivers oranges to all
Yeah,
these other kids
Father
that he was
Christmas, innit?
living with, because there's like a Fagin type character.
But that's
And-
what
and
Father
then he-
Christmas used to bring, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and then he
Oranges.
gives the Fagin character coal,
Cheapskate.
as it, like, you know, the old thing
Why
of
did
like.
Scale Electrics bring
Yeah.
the fucking orange?
That's it, isn't it?
I don't
He
even
wants
like
an
Is
orange.
it really cringeworthy?
Oh,
is
it's
it?
innit?
terrible. Like the ending is like, thank God for Sainsbury's making Christmas.
It's not. It's just terrible. But then it got me thinking about that advert, and I actually genuinely really
It's good
like.
marketing then, because we're talking about it now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
right,
we're
bastards.
slagging it
Yeah.
by Sainsbury's. We're sponsored by Sainsbury's. Go Sainsbury's. But it got me thinking about the all the other ones in the
Asda.
past, like the one with the where they're playing football. In
Oh
World
no,
War
that
One.
really upset me.
I
that.
really liked the advert.
It was
but it's
to be
just
fair,
like-
Yeah.
it was beautifully done.
But it's just like it's for a supermarket.
I know, and it just
Do you know
makes
what
me
I
think
mean?
about all those poor fuckers like living in the trenches and whatnot. And were they aware that in 100 years' time, their likeness will be used to sell fucking turkeys?
Yeah, some ham shank.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
and
I
it
just
really
think
upset me. That
it's like the overkill of it as well. It's like, and then everyone gets all buzzed up for it. I seen a friend of mine saying how I haven't seen the John Lewis advert, but
oh
everyone's
yeah,
like
that's even worse.
getting ready for like, oh, the John Lewis advert's premiering.
That annoys
and then
me.
he posted about
Who gives a shit?
It's a fucking
it's like,
advert.
oh yeah, the adverts are back to the best. I'm like, come on, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's an advert to try and get you to buy shit that's going to end up in the bin in 2 years.
Did you ever
you know
watch
what I'm
that really weird? I think it was John Lewis advert with the man on the moon.
Yeah, where
What the
old
fuck
man-
was that all to do with Christmas?
Really
Dunno.
fucking I'm missing all these adverts.
That was a
here.
few years ago now.
Was it?
It was like some
That's
bloke,
what I mean. I
some
can't
old
remember
bloke that
that.
lives
And
on
they
the
look in
moon.
the woman girl looks in the
Yeah.
binoculars and she sends something up, doesn't she?
Yeah.
On a thing.
And I was like, well, you know,
Here's an idea. Instead
what's
of
that got
sticking
to do with Christmas?
Here's an
Yeah.
idea, isn't it? Yeah. Instead of sticking a man on the moon, an old man who's lonely and that, why not just do something like bigging up some care home?
Yeah,
Like, and then
exactly.
say for every £1 that you spend in John Lewis this year, we're giving 5p for an initiative to bring happiness to old people who don't see anyone on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you know what I
it.
mean? Instead of just using that kind of message and sentiment to make more money. Although
Yeah.
John Lewis, to be fair to them, are quite good employers, I believe. And like the staff have an ownership in
Oh,
their
they?
company and all that. But still, fuck them. You know what I'm saying?
Did you think you was fence sitting then for a second?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you were fence
Fuck
sitting,
it.
and then you brought it back. You brought it
But
back.
and they also give good warranties
Do
on
they?
electrical items.
Not as good as Richard Sounds.
Richard Sounds are good as well because they just sold their company and he gave a massive payout to staff, even new staff as
Who'd
well.
they sell it to?
Don't know. They
John
did
Lewis.
something. Yeah, John Lewis.
Sainsbury's.
Sainsbury's, yeah.
Father Christmas.
For Christmas.
I forgot what I was going to say now. Sorry. completely forgot.
Oh,
That's all right.
I know.
that's a
It'll be
roadblock
something
there.
to do with Christmas.
Roadblock.
But yeah, the Christmas adverts were a bit much, I think.
So do I.
I mean,
that was nice.
back in, yeah, but back in the
That's
day,
my
though,
fault.
back in the day, it's like this, yeah. Christmas adverts back in the day was just a Toys R Us advert, wasn't it? With some
That's it.
snow on it.
Well, I remembered now.
There's a
Oh,
place
he's back in the room.
Sorry, yeah.
It's like
No,
having Father
I was
Jack
just
in the
going to go
corner,
back to. I was just going to go back about these big companies. They should do more initiatives going on about,
Yeah,
like
they
with
should.
the homeless people, giving like a,
Immense
because they're
time,
all.
that.
You have, I mean, it's been ages for people to get food out of get their old food off them to give to the
Yeah,
homeless, isn't it?
that's ridiculous
I
when
mean,
they throw away all like
It's
the fresh
fucking ridiculous.
bacon
I
stuff.
mean, some of them have changed the tune on that,
Yeah, I think some of them do some
but
stuff.
they've had to through
pressure.
from the
and
public.
getting real bad publicity
Yeah.
over it.
I remember when I worked in a supermarket, right, and I worked like the hot food section, and at the end of the shift, there'd always be food going free, be binning it, and I'd be like, I'd have a bit, and the manager would come over, if I see you doing that again, I'm gonna sack you. I'm like, it's going in the bin, mate.
Yeah,
Every
what's the
time I just
difference
eat it
as well?
anyway. It's just like, sack me, like fucking hell.
What's the difference though if it goes in the bin or if it goes to a homeless person?
I don't know. I think they're worried about people getting poisoning, but it's just like, tell them what time to come for the food.
Yeah.
And they're not going to come and get 2-day-old bacon, are they, if you tell them when to come? Just have someone out the back just dishing out bacon butties,
Or just take it to homeless
know what I mean?
shelters.
or get them to come and collect
Yeah,
it.
just say, look, homeless shelter, look, we're going to throw all this out at 7 o'clock. Just come and get it. We won't put it in the bin. We'll put it in this box and
There's
you can
loads
take
of
it.
stuff that doesn't even make it to the shelves that ends up in the
I mean,
bin.
that's it. Isn't it?
Yeah, damaged stuff and
that's
God
just
knows
because
what.
it's got like I don't know, a dent in it or something. Although I get loads of stuff from the supermarket with dent in it.
So do I.
They're sneaky fuckers. They're up
Sneaky
to something.
bastards. I thought if you had a dent in it, you could say, like, this has got a dent in it. I'm not paying the full price.
Don't know.
I thought there was like a consumer right where they had to charge you less.
I'm not sure. You just reminded me of something though. That program with
Dom,
Matt, all right.
yeah.
bald guy, Dom,
No,
All right.
I was thinking of the other one who owns
Dick and Dom.
John Trode.
No, shut up with this. The guy who owns he owns that restaurant, kind of organic place down in Cornwall.
Hugh Fernley
That's
Whitnstall.
it.
Oh yeah.
And he done that supermarket thing where they're looking at all the parsnips and carrots.
Yeah.
that
The
they chuck
wonky
away
stuff, yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
the wonky
Well,
stuff, and it was like fields and fields of
Yeah.
parsnips equivalent.
It's a mad one.
Yeah.
Paul, give the name of the bar in York who's doing a homeless dinner day once a month, and we'll give him a shout out to everyone, even though there's only like 10 people watching. But I don't know, it's nice, isn't it? But Christmas supermarkets. Who are you doing your shopping with?
No idea.
Why? I love.
Why are
doing
we endorsing fucking supermarkets right now?
We're not. We're slagging them, but I do actually like doing the Christmas
All
shop.
publicity is good publicity.
Maybe we'll get to do the John Lewis advert next year.
Imagine that.
They want to feel the feeling of freedom.
freedom.
I like doing the Christmas shop, me, because I like getting in the mood for it, innit? And it's just all about the alcohol. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the best
You know what
part
I mean?
of the
Get the
shop,
beers
isn't it?
in, yeah. You get loads of beers in, you're like, this is going to do me. And then you just smash it all by Christmas Day. You're like, fuck, the shop's the shop, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cozy Club. Big up the Cozy Club for feeding the homeless.
Cozy Club.
It sounds decent.
Put a gig on, we'll play
Yeah,
it.
but more people should do shit like that. I've often thought about the Christmas thing. Obviously, I've got a kid now, innit? So it's a bit different. But maybe he could be included in it when he's a bit older. Just about going out and like I think old people are the one, innit? How many poor bastards are going to be in like homes who ain't going to have any contact with anyone? Don't know. In the
Yeah.
future, I might go. Just say hello, innit? And then fuck off and get pissed.
Just say hello. Walk in. Hello.
Walk in with a Jack Daniels. Who wants one of these?
wants
And then
one
the
of
nurses are
these?
like, they can't have that.
They've all had their drips.
It's like, fuck. Oh, right. Shit in here, innit? I'm going to a pub.
Walking like him out of trading places, when he's on his arse and he dresses up as Santa.
Trading
That's it.
places. Which one's that one?
The one with Eddie Murphy and is it Dan
Rings a
Aykroyd?
bell. It rings a bell.
Yeah.
I'm picturing it.
I can't
And
remember that
Jamie Lee
scene now.
Curtis, and she gets her boobs out. And they're the stunning pair of tits, man.
Oh, my God.
I don't care.
I hope your missus is listening.
I don't remember it.
I don't remember that scene. I remember the film.
Which scene, the tit scene or the other one?
Both.
I don't remember the film.
I do. You know, when Eddie Murphy's like a street kid, isn't he? Really, like a.
Yeah, he's like a.
He's not a gangster.
No,
or
he's
anything,
homeless.
Then
just,
does he?
He's homeless?
Is it?
No,
Yeah,
he's
he swaps
homeless.
with that rich guy.
Yeah,
that's
Dan
it.
Aykroyd.
Because the
yeah.
two guys who are meant to be like some Rothschild kind of.
Yeah, he has
figures.
to prove he's going to run the business right or
No.
something, isn't it?
No,
Dan
well,
Aykroyd?
the two have a bet.
Yeah,
two
that's
rich
it. Yeah.
fellas to see if they could like send the one who's the rich one, Dan Aykroyd, into poverty or whatever, and
Rise someone out of poverty. Like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I do remember it now. I remember a red Ferrari for some reason.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
that's
think.
Wolf of Wall
And I can
Street.
remember a
What I see.
train.
Train, that's it. They're on a train at the
Yeah.
end in a monkey suit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's not as good
Jamie Lee
as
Curtis.
it's not as good as Coming to America.
and we're not getting into that.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Christmas.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's it.
Well,
That was
There's
your
anything else to say about
subject,
that.
wasn't it?
Yeah, good subject.
Yeah, it's
but
pretty good.
Fuck John Lewis.
Fuck John Lewis.
Jay
Jay
Sainsbury's.
Sainsbury's motherfuckers.
Fuck Asda, but thanks for the water.
Yeah, nice one.
Whose
I have that
subject
one?
is it next?
Are you going to drink that?
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard. I suppose it's me, isn't it?
It's all about Lidl and Aldi.
Talk about Lidl and Aldi.
No, I said it's all about Lidl and
It's
Aldi.
all about Lidl and Aldi. Do we want to do a comment break? Is there any comments that we want to?
No, we're up to date with the comments. Apparently, Cozy Club are doing their homeless dinner on Thursday, December the 5th. So I don't think many homeless people will be watching. But yeah, it's a good thing that they're doing. And if you are watching and you're homeless and you're in York, go and get some food.
Yeah.
Big up the Cozy Club.
Big up the Cozy Club.
Final subject of the
Final
night.
subject from myself.
Let's do it.
I want to talk about this new game that's come out called Death Stranding.
A game?
Yeah, and I'll tell you for
A
why.
game?
I'll tell you for
A
why.
computer game?
Yeah, it's
Go on.
like the biggest game ever, and everyone's fucking going on about it, right? And the title is called Death Stranding, right? But all you do in it is walk around and deliver parcels.
What? So you just walk?
Yeah, you walk around
Do you
for
throw
hours.
the parcels?
No,
or
you
like a
carry them on your
paperboy?
back.
Like
right?
Paperboy, innit? Yeah, I don't want a game.
You carry them on your back, right? And you walk through this, and it's an amazing. Like the graphics are stunning and everything. But I haven't played it. I've just watched like 10 minutes of it on YouTube, and now I know all about it. But it just reminded me of Doug. Like someone like Doug, an Amazon driver, or whatever, could go home and in theory play it. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
delivering parcels in the day and then goes home
I
to
have
deliver
other
parcels.
curricular activities.
I know you do, but I'm just saying.
Theorizing, isn't it?
And it's like,
I'm joking.
and then it got me thinking about like video game violence
Oh yeah.
and violence in the media and stuff, because I've been watching The Wire, and they're always talking about how like, oh, everyone used to say like back in the day, those kids were like, oh, these kids these days, and now everyone's saying it now and all this kind of thing. And it made me think about Biggie and Tupac and stuff like that. I don't know what the streets of Harlem were like before that, but nowadays it seems to have gone the other way.
Smoke blunts, motherfuckers.
Exactly. Like you go to New York. When I went to New York in 2008,
In the hood.
it was quite gentrified then. Like I was thinking it's going to be a lot more scary or whatever. And there were like people with guns and belts and stuff, and like tucking them when they went through certain subway stations and stuff. And I just thought
It's not legal to carry a gun in New York.
it is in certain zones.
You have to have a
The
license to
public
carry
Yeah,
can't
it.
it's
carry
really,
don't you?
it's really,
Probably
really.
can't carry guns
You
in
can't.
New York.
You can't do.
You can if you've got a license.
You can't
No,
do
it's only
concealed.
in Texas and shit. You can't carry it in New
You
York
can't-
City.
you
A
can't-
fucking
What
gun.
if you're a
You
close
can't do
protection
concealed
officer?
carry. I don't think, which is like you cover it up. So it's all like
I know,
they
you're
must have
talking
been
about
gangsters. Then.
Paperboy.
Well, what I was going to
blunts.
say, what I was going
Yeah,
to
go on.
say is, it's like, do you reckon that like computer game violence and TV violence and movie violence, do you think it's a thing? Do you think it's a thing? Do you think it like violence in the media creates violence
do.
on the street?
I do and I don't, in the sense of like, I do think computer game violence is a thing, and I'll tell you for why, yeah? Because whenever I play like Grand Theft Auto, and I haven't played it for ages, I get the cheat, I get the guns, I go on a mad rampage, I'm like, I'm just shooting bear heads, I'm robbing cars, I'm like, everyone's getting it, yeah? No one is like everyone's getting it, like Biggie Smalls style. Give me the loop.
Give me the loop. Give me the loop.
And then when I'm out in the world, I start like
Stabbing
seeing
people in the face.
Yeah.
Grand
I know.
Theft Auto. I'm like, I just rob that car now. You get out of the car. I'm having the car.
I've done it though
Do
with.
you know what I mean?
That brings me back to something similar, which is The Sopranos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When I watched the
Bishop's
full
one-man
5
show.
seasons, I was walking round like exactly like you were saying. I was like, if I'd have gone now, you'd be gone. You wouldn't even know it was coming. Do you know what I mean?
I do think it's a thing in the sense of like there are just people. Everyone's susceptible to something, aren't they? Otherwise, we wouldn't get controlled, innit? So like, there's a reason why we have like violence in society, and then it's reflected in computer games and the news, and then it comes like double circle. It's like the terrorist incidents. Yeah, I don't have an idea. That didn't come out right. I
don't have an
I
idea.
still don't know why they don't stop reporting it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because reporting it perpetuates it.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
then
it.
some dickhead out there is going to be like, I want to go and shoot up a load of people and put it on Facebook.
Well, I think they should report it, but they should do it one day, so you know it happened, and you know that those people are out there. But then there's nothing about it.
Yeah.
Because it just perpetuates it, and then it's every fucking day, and then it's like, oh, now we know that he was in some school where they patted him on the back for being a knob or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Or he was groomed by so and so to do it, and it's like, well, I don't need to know that. Some fucking intelligence agency needs to know that. Do you know what I mean? I just find it fucking. I think it perpetuates itself on that front. I don't know about violence.
Some good points coming up on the conversation.
Ryan said game violence causing real world violence was debunked years ago, but I mean, that's something really difficult. I'm not saying it's a fact that it is or not, but that's something hard to debunk, isn't it? Because
yeah, I mean, you can't tell with what the individual
Maybe
thinks.
I mean, a general populace.
yeah,
So.
we've just said two things how we feel, but we don't act on that.
That's it, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And maybe if you're more aware of violent situations, you can not enter them.
I don't know. I think maybe in
Do you know what I
terms of
mean?
like, I think it'd be quite sort of debunking of it. Yeah, probably in terms of how many people per like capita play games and then go on to do violent acts probably is quite low. But then Richard said this.
Yeah, that's good.
But definitely a link between isolation and mental health. That's bang on for me.
Yeah.
I think if you're isolated and you think, I don't know, if you start to go down rabbit holes of like people are against you or society's against you or you're not worth something, and then you're surrounding yourself with violent imagery and you can become impulsive towards that potentially. I don't know,
Maybe.
do you know what I mean?
I think that kind of isolation thing comes from people that all of a sudden are your best friend, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And then you get easily persuaded by people that are like, well, you haven't got anyone apart from us. So if you want to be a part of us, you need to do this kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that the analysis of the study isn't correct, Ryan. I'm just saying that, like, I don't know, like, in those small instances of people who then go on to be violent, those things obviously probably might perpetuate that slightly. I don't know.
Well, all I would say is that, I mean, I played very violent.
I like violence. No, I do. Like,
I think it serves a purpose if it needs to be done.
I think like people shy away from it. Like it's inherently human to be violent. And
True.
I have perpetually found myself in violent situations as an adult, and I don't like it in the sense of I want to be in violent situations, but I'm into violent combat sports.
Yeah, like boxing and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. And it's like, it is inherent in me as a person, and I think there are so many people who suppress that side of themselves because we're told that it's not normal when actually it is. That people snap easy.
Yeah.
It's not a desirable thing, though, is it?
From
It's not.
just going boxing and smashing the fuck out of some pads.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
But
Do you
then
know what I'm saying?
that's not a violent situation. I suppose you could say it's controlled violence,
Yeah,
but it's
then
not
how
like.
many people, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. And I think we have got decreasingly violent year on year statistically as a society, definitely. But we still live
How
in
do you
a violent
explain
society.
knife crime then?
Exactly. But knife crime's always existed.
Yeah, but it's got worse.
I don't know if it has. Like,
I
it's
would
just-
say it
it's
has.
just
It's
shifted.
all these
Like,
fucking
knife
murders.
crime has
Barry.
been massive in Glasgow for decades.
True.
Absolutely decades.
But how many murders though? You know what I mean?
Quite a few. Like,
Well,
do you know what I mean? Like,
why are we so
Glasgow
up in
used to
arms
be
about
pretty
London having a
lawless,
big?
man.
Well, yeah, of course it did.
Say it
Everywhere
again.
used to be
The what?
lawless.
Glasgow, the knife crime in Glasgow
Yeah.
was like famous. Well, like it was like the worst place in Europe at one point for knife crime.
And then you had gun violence in Manchester
Yeah,
and
of
places
course.
like that, obviously. I mean, then you had armed robbery. There was always armed robbery in the 70s and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing, violence at all. I mean, maybe it is inherent, but it's not desirable.
So Ryan just said lack of socialization is a greater factor than game choice. Yeah, that's kind of what we said a minute ago in terms of like isolation and mental health potentially.
It says loneliness
Loneliness
which
causes huge
goes back to
psychological problems. Yeah,
what
definitely.
Rich said as well.
That's what we're saying.
Isolation and yeah.
So yeah, there's obviously other factors in there, but then it's like, what do you do? Do you just then ban like violent games?
I mean, I played violent games
Yeah,
throughout my teens, and I've never been violent to anyone.
What about you? What about this game though that you mentioned? Doesn't sound very violent.
Well, I mean, I think there is like combat elements of it, but I just was trying to like bridge the two
Yeah. Okay.
conversations. But I just was like interested to see that people can have boring jobs and then go home and in their leisure time walk around a fucking game for 2 hours,
We'll
to
get back
literally
onto
just
that.
picking up parcels, then delivering them, and then going back to the place where they picked the parcels up from. Like, do you know what I mean?
Ryan's also said knife crime is one class of crime. Overall, violent crime figures have consistently fallen. You're being manipulated by the media.
I'm not being manipulated by anything.
Hey, yes! Ryan, you're going to be the
I'm
first
on the
guest
side
to
of
come in.
I'm on the side of there isn't a problem with violence in the media, because like I say, I've watched violent films all my life. I've played violent video games, and I've never been violent
I
with
just
anyone.
think we're
I've been in
inherently violent.
fights, but I've never gone, I need to stab you in the face because you piss me off.
I do quite a lot.
Yeah, but that's only
I
with your
don't
penis.
act on it, but I don't know. But going back to the computer game thing, what was that game that you could play where you could go and live in like another, was it Second Life or something?
Sims.
No.
Second, where you could be an
Raiders of
avatar,
the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
and you could like walk around
This
and have
thing
relationships.
was mad. I
and
don't
stuff.
even know if it's still.
Pac-Man.
We've moved
It
on.
doesn't work on me.
No.
I'm the one who does that to you, not the other way around.
I couldn't think of anything.
Pac-Man. Imagine it was Pac-Man. that game Pac-Man, really violent.
Violent. Eating things.
Right.
And those
So,
ghosts chasing him,
Second,
bastards.
Second Life, yeah, was like this thing. I think it might still exist. I don't know. Where you could go and you could go in this thing and you'd have an avatar, and then you would go gonna go round and
You basically lived a life.
lived a life in the computer, and you used your real life money to buy currency in this thing, and people were buying real estate and becoming millionaires and having relationships on there and everything. It got so bad that some guy played it so long that he forgot to eat, and he like basically like died of starvation
Really?
in the real world
What
playing
an
this
idiot.
mad
What's this
game.
game called?
Then it's called Second Life. I think it's probably still going.
Yeah. And people made millions from the real estate as well.
Yeah.
Like they were buying like bits of land in there. Like imagine that. Just
So
coming
hold on.
home.
But it
when
was all
you're in
digital
the game
currency, but you couldn't
and
use
buy
it,
the
obviously.
real estate.
Yeah.
You're paying real money.
Real
you're saying.
money.
Well, what
And
you would do
what
is
happens
pay
to
your
that money, then it's just gone forever.
well, you're paying your money to
Well,
the
it's like
the
a-
company that make the game.
Yeah.
So all you're doing is paying.
So you get
like an
nothing
in-game
from it.
purchase.
apart
You don't
from the
get
game.
Yeah,
anything
but you can
from
set
it.
businesses up and stuff in
Yeah,
there.
but you
as well,
can't
though.
earn
And
the
then
money back,
people
though,
then,
could you?
Like,
Oh, start paying
people
you.
made bare cash from it, mate.
Could
Honestly.
you? I didn't. I thought it was
yeah.
all in the game. So like
No,
people
no,
were
no.
handing over fucking thousands
You
and
could
like
buy,
get, obviously.
to
people were
continue the
buying land,
story.
Yeah.
and then someone would be like, "Yo, I want to come and build a house on your land." And they'd be like, "All right, cool. Yo, just chuck me like $50,000." It's like, "All right, sweet."
Could you be a
Like-
gangster in it and stuff?
I'm sure there probably
There
was.
probably
You
was
know what I mean?
gangsters in it, wasn't there?
That's what I'd be in there. It sounds top, man. Let's sign up and go and mash it up.
And people
Um,
went through that with World of Warcraft as well, didn't they? I knew people back in
I
the
don't
day
even
that
know
used
what
to.
that is.
It's-
Is it like Command and Conquer?
I don't-
No, it's
I don't
like,
play computer games. to be
Neither do
honest.
I. FIFA.
I don't anymore. I used to play them a
People
lot.
play that anymore.
But it's like it was a game where you'd make this character who would be like a wizard, and you basically have to live on there in order to make your character like hard enough to take on these creatures or whatever. And people would be on there for days. I know a friend of mine played it for literally 12 hours straight.
Man.
Straight. Didn't stop for 12
Oh my
hours.
God.
It used to be a bit like that with Championship Manager back.
Yeah, so did I, to be fair. That was the
I'd
one
be
that...
like, I've got to finish the season.
Yeah.
2 days later, you're still going. Off your head.
I'm in the final with...
Right,
I used to get Argyle promoted all the way to the Champions League, then move on. my time is done.
Sad, man. The amount of times that I've
I
fucking
never got
spent on
into
that.
it.
We used to play Call of Duty and shit, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm shit at stuff like that.
So am
Anything
I. I'm
where you got to
fucking
do
terrible.
like a tap, tap, duck down, do a left, right, a Hadouken. I'm shit at it, you know what I mean?
It's just the thing when you fire the gun, you're like that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm dead.
It's funny watching you play those kind of games, though. I'm tempted to just buy it, bring it up here, just so we can do it
I
every
know.
couple of minutes.
I'm a worst playing a car game. Anyway.
It's
Catch
funny.
up with some comments.
Yeah.
So Paul Godfrey says, we're not that long out of the jungle. We are beasts with clothes and mobile phones. You're right.
We are beasts.
I am a beast.
Yeah.
Sexy beasts.
Thankfully, with clothes and a mobile phone, because otherwise I'd be naked and then I wouldn't be able to call my missus. Ryan Smith says, got to bail, fellas. All right, well, you're probably gone, but yeah, thanks for the comments. And Rich says, someone stole a life jacket off a boat in Chichester Harbour last month. Crime is out of control. Mate, that is something genuinely that could affect someone's life.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
My mate,
But maybe they needed it.
My mate, like, I'm not really. He is my mate, but it's like I haven't seen him for ages. He was going to this club night, and he had to fly. He was flying back the same day, and he just turned up at this club night that we used to go to. Yeah, and he just walked in, and he just pulled this thing, and this life jacket just inflated. He's like, yeah, I stole the life jacket off the plane.
What?
I'm like, you mad
Off a
bastard.
plane? How did you get that out the door?
Star Wars Galaxies like that too. Is that a game where people can go in and spend mad money?
No idea.
Don't know. There's too much shit like that. Yeah, just go to the pub. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Go
play
to a
some
gig.
Sports. Yeah, go to a gig.
Go
Come
to one
and
of our
watch us.
gigs.
You know what I mean? We're decent and we're good people.
And then go home and play the game.
nice and polite. We say hello to people. But yeah, we'll move on. All right, it's that time of the week. Everyone's buzzing at home.
Culture test.
It's culture test corner. Who's going in? The bin.
And the subject is Coxie, because you're holding the
The crown.
Yeah, so nobody won
Right.
last week, did we?
You've
We
got
all
the
went
honours.
in.
You're holding the honours. That's it.
So technically I won 2 in a row, so I'm happy with that.
Mm.
But
I'm not allowed to look at the comments until we give ours either. just in
Okay,
case someone
all right,
comes in with a
okay.
decent one.
Yeah.
What's
Um,
the subject? Go.
so the subject's going to be footballers.
Footballers.
It was going to be England managers because England played last night. We won 4-0.
It's a bit difficult though, wasn't it? 'Cause
Well,
not
I
that
had one. I
many,
was
is
going to say
there?
Yeah.
Sven, but only because I didn't like him.
Yeah.
I forgot about Sven.
Capello.
Yeah.
But
Capello and
I don't
even
know,
Boy.
was Sven
McLaren
McLaren would have been the one, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Would have
I
gone.
don't know what
He'd have
about
gone
Hoddle. I liked Hoddle, but he's a
Hoddle.
nutter.
Yeah.
How does that sound, man?
It's a nut job.
What
It's
about
like,
Terry
if you're
Venables?
disabled, you did something bad in a previous life. It's like, get a grip, mate. Do you know what I mean?
I think it was took out of context.
Yeah,
though.
of course it was. He's a fucking nutter.
Anyway,
His
come on,
commentary shit as well.
footballers.
Footballers, I reckon someone should go
Who's
first.
first?
You go first.
You've got to
then.
go first.
I've
Yeah.
got to go first.
Yeah, because you're the champion.
Yeah,
Champion
but I
goes
don't, I don't
first.
know. All right, okay. Well, I'm going to put forward Bruce Grobbelaar.
What?
Yeah,
No.
Go on, why?
Bruce?
because he
man.
played for Argyle. No, because he was a match fixer.
So that happens all the time. It's
I
not,
know, but he
none
got
of it's
caught
real,
though, didn't
man.
he?
It's a computer game.
He's a character, man.
Yeah, but he had a mustache and
Never trust a man with a mustache. Plus, he was Venezuelan.
no, he was Zimbabwean.
Nah, he's from Venezuela.
He's from
He's
South
from
Africa?
Zimbabwe.
South
No.
Africa?
Zimbabwe.
Venezuelan.
Venezuela.
I'm pretty
He's from
certain
South
it
Africa.
was
From
Zimbabwe.
Venezuela. He's from South America.
We'll have a look in a bit anyway.
We'll have a
when
look in
one
a
of the
minute.
guys on the internet
Alright.
maybe comes forward with where Bruce Grobbelaar
I just think the thing is, when I think back and I think of like old school footballers, he sums them up brilliantly with his face. You know what I mean? With the moustache, like
And his
shaved
wobbly
head,
legs at the penalty.
wobbly legs. Yeah, Ooh.
But he's a character, though.
He
Yeah.
was a character,
But I
but
mean, that's saying something,
Match
even because
fixing.
Damon's an Everton fan. You know what I mean? And he's
he was a Liverpool player. wasn't
Liverpool.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
he? Yeah.
well, that's what I'm
Liverpool
saying.
legend, isn't it?
Yeah,
Played for Argyle at the end of his career. I think after the match fixing.
yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe not so.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Right, well, go on.
Right. Yeah, well, mine is, he said past or present. Mine's based on, not that I was a particular fan of him when he was playing football. It's more his punditry now that really fucking does my
Do
head
it.
in. And that is Jermaine Genus or Genus.
Jermaine Genus, yeah.
He's the worst pundit
I don't know about.
Ever.
I don't know if he's the
I don't know,
worst.
man, there's
He's
some
bad.
pundits, man.
Really bad.
He's bad, but he's
He's
not.
not
I
the
don't know if he's the
worst.
worst.
He's-
I mean,
he's
Michael
gotta
Owen's
be-
up there as well.
Garth
for the
Crooks is fucking
Garth
the
Crooks.
pits. Fuck me, why is he still on the television,
Well, that's why
man?
they don't put him on Match of the Day too, isn't it?
Also him.
He's just rubbish.
Fucking Mark Lawrenson, fucking give
I
it a
like
rest.
him.
He's a
Mark
dickhead.
Lawrenson.
He's
Only
a
'cause
knob.
he's a scouse.
Mate, he's a dick.
Which
It's got
one?
nothing to do
Scouse.
with Scouse. Alan Hansen, fair enough, like it.
Really?
Bruce Grobbelaar,
Yeah,
like it. Lawrenson, dickhead.
Anyway, we're saying Jermaine Genus.
Jermaine Genus. All right, cool. Well, I've got a few.
Is
that
there
could
any
have gone,
other?
So I'm
any
going to
other?
take my pick.
Hang on. Are you not? Are we just going to let him say just because he was a bad pundit? Let's have some
He's
more.
punditry. He's a terrible player. He never did anything, did he?
He was a flopper, wasn't he? He was.
Yeah. He was.
He was
testing.
tipped to be
Tipped,
big.
Exactly. Yeah. And he did nothing.
He's a man of no substance on the pitch. He's
And
better
on
at football
screen.
than I am, but like
And on screen.
he's one of those players that never amounted to anything in the sense of like he's going to be big. He's a Theo Walcott,
Yeah.
and he plays for Everton.
Yeah.
He's shit.
Theo's bad, isn't he? Bless him.
He's he's one of them.
Well, he's
I
not bad. He's just not Premier League quality, I don't think.
Are we still going with the no nonce policy?
The no. The no what?
nonce.
No nonce policy. Because there's that nonce footballer. I could choose him, but I'm thinking I've got a better
Mr. Johnson.
one. Adam Johnson.
Yeah.
He should have gone in culture test corner, but
Yeah,
We'll
but that's standard though, isn't it? They're
we'll
standard.
stick with the no nonce.
They're already
policy.
in there.
They're already in there.
Yeah.
We don't even
I'm
need to mention
gonna
dicks
go
like
with
that.
I'm gonna go with Joey Barton.
Joey
Oh,
Barton.
I like Joey Barton, man.
He's a fucking prick.
Really?
I kind of like
What do you mean, really?
Him.
He's
He's
a
a
knob.
love to hate kind of
He's
character.
a cunt.
I'll tell you what. I'll
Yeah, I
agree with
know.
it. Go on.
He's a
Just
cunt.
do your
I'll tell
do
you
your
why.
spiel. Let's see why.
The guy is the biggest prick going. Yeah, he's had every opportunity to be something decent and make a go of things, and he fucks it up every time. Not to
A fair
mention he
point.
put a fucking cigar out in a 15-year-old fucking football fan's eye in Thailand. He might have even been younger. The guy's an absolute moron. Like,
And he did a fake accent.
yeah, he did do a fake
Actually,
accent.
you're right. He does. I tell you, who it reminds me of. It reminds me of that fucking dick who runs that Britain First. Who used to do that? What's his name?
Tommy Robinson.
Yeah.
Tommy Robinson.
He does
It
remind me
reminds
of
me
him.
a bit.
Yeah,
of
he
him.
does
I'm not
remind me
saying
a bit
his view of like
Well, he's-
social
I'm not.
situations
Obviously,
the same.
I can't paint him with the same brush as this, but his brother was like murdered that guy in Liverpool, innit, with the pickaxe, and like I don't know if he said something
What?
about
Tommy
it.
Robinson.
No, Joey Barton.
Oh.
I mean, that's not a reason to put him into culture test corner because that's not his fault at the end of the day. But he's just got some fucked up views, a fucked up way of seeing the world. He's had loads of opportunities to reinvent himself. He paints himself as this intellectual fella. He's just been banned again from football for like battering another coach or manager at football. And it's like there are characters, yeah, I get that. And yeah, you could argue he's a character, but he's not a lovable character.
No.
He's a twat.
He's not even a love to hate.
And even his footballing ability was half decent, mate. He was not
Yeah.
a bad footballer, but he just fucked it up for himself.
Yeah.
And
He was
yeah,
kind of a
dunno,
Roy Keane, wasn't he? But not
a shit one.
not as powerful and not as strong.
Zimbabwean. There
I
you go.
fucking
and you was
told
something like
you.
that.
I said Zimbabwe.
Did you?
Yeah.
You said Venezuela.
No, no, fuck
I
off.
said Venezuela.
I said Zimbabwe
I thought, where's Zimbabwe?
in Africa.
I thought it's
Paul's even
Venezuela.
give us his
Mrs. is
statistics
called
as
Debbie.
well.
Hey up, Debbie.
Born 1957, height 1.85 meters.
Born 1957.
Statso.
But yeah, I'm gonna say Joey Barton. Because he's a bit of a repulsive character, and I'm sure he'd probably want to batter me if he see me.
He probably would as well.
I don't know. I'd have a go. I don't know.
A little rot.
Seeing it, it's probably a little bit fitter than I am, but
What? You want to go out with?
depends if he's got a cigar. I'd probably stub it out in my eye. I mean, for me, that's just wrong. That doing that to a kid doesn't matter what the
All
kid
right.
said to you. Do you know what I mean? That's
Fucking,
just
you've
savage,
already won
mate.
it, alright? Stop fucking selling it.
What? I know, yeah, I know.
Yes.
Because you've won.
Yes.
Bastard. It's got to be Joey,
It's
isn't
your
it?
first time you've won, isn't it?
Second.
Second, yeah, you won. What was the other one you won now?
Who did I win on? I can't remember.
I think it was a
So
second
is Joey
third
Barton going into culture test
Joey
corner?
Barton.
I think
I'm
he's
sorry,
right.
Joey. It's
There you
time
go.
for you to get your court.
In you go.
Well, speaking of the football thing, There are definitely there's a definitely lack of characters. Why don't we talk about the positive side of football? Who's been who do you think's the best player that's ever played?
Can I
in the
say I'm glad I
Premiership?
didn't win because I actually like Bruce Grobbelaar.
What did you say
I
then?
don't know. It's the only one that came into my head.
It was definitely dodgy.
Yeah, he was. But he played for Argyle, so we can't hate him.
I remember when we played Wimbledon to stay up years and years ago around that era. Was it Hans Sagers, the keeper for Wimbledon? Something like that. And we either drew 3-3 or won 3-2. I can't remember, but it's a really famous game in Everton history. And we were going down, and then all of a sudden we clawed it back. That was a match fixer.
Yeah.
Said, I don't know. It must happen.
Well, yeah.
It must happen now. Do you know what I mean? There's too much money involved.
Of course, yeah.
Even the sports cheating, yeah. How come you never hear any of the footballers on like PEDs? I bet they are.
Yeah, that's it. We were talking about that the other night, weren't we?
Tell you what was snide on football was Adrian Mutu when he got banned for so long because he got caught with cocaine in the system. That's snide, you know.
Yeah.
I know.
He was a good footballer.
He got
back in the
liked
day
him.
as well.
Romanian player was
Decent,
massive in obviously Romania. They loved him. He got fined something like 20 million, didn't he, from
Ruined
Chelsea?
his career, that,
Yeah.
you know.
I know. I mean,
You used to hear that a lot, didn't you? Like footballers caught pissed up, coked up.
look, yeah. I mean, remember Rio Ferdinand missed 3 drugs tests in a row and then gets banned for 6 months or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's like, why
It's
have you missed 3?
protection,
All right,
isn't
you
it?
might have had some weed, might have smoked a weed or whatever. But 3 times, he must have had some sort of or could have had some something.
Libel.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you'd try and get away with that in another sport.
Could have had some.
Yeah, libel, yeah.
We'll give you
Peds
we'll give
inside
you
him.
10 LPs and a couple of CDs, Rio. We'll keep it stum. There must be
Fair
players that
play.
are on
If
it,
you can
though.
get away with cheating on a drugs test, then
There
fair
must
play
be
to you.
players on it. Every sport's rife with it, yeah. Football's well going to be rife with it.
I just think there's certain sports where why aren't they allowed to
Just
use
let it be.
drugs? Yeah, like cycling's
Have you-
one.
yeah. Have you seen?
The NBA is another one.
Yeah. So they've proper cleaned it up on cycling, but it's still in the culture, isn't it?
Of course it is.
The one that they've cleaned up on the most is baseball because it's a lifetime ban now
yeah.
if you get caught.
And that's always been a fucking
And
dirty
have you
sport.
looked at how many home runs they get? No.
Yeah, in the
It used to be like
nosedive.
100, like the best ones you were getting like 80 a year or 100 or whatever, and now it's down to something like
8.
yeah, under 20.
That's mad. How does that work, though? If you take drugs and then it makes you be able to play rounders better?
Well, because it's like the strength you can keep lifting, I suppose, the
Yeah,
back muscles.
the
Because
back.
I think there's a lot of
Focus.
twist and stuff like that, and a lot of exerting
shouting.
energy, and a lot of as they hit the
Twisting
bat.
and shouting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was honestly, it's a lifetime ban now.
That's mad.
but you can see like in something like baseball, like really, you don't think it would be like a sport
I
that'd be
know.
dirty, do you? But it's one of the most dirtiest in
Well,
history. isn't it?
cricket as well. There's so much money in cricket. Like cricket,
Especially in
cricket's
India,
one
places
of,
like
that's
that.
what I mean. It's one of the biggest
Man,
betting sports. In the world.
Bowling, I bowled a few balls in the
10-pin
summer.
bowling.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Cricket
right, yeah,
bowls.
sorry,
Yeah.
cricket bowling.
Playing
Cricket.
bowls.
Cricket.
Cricket.
I bowled a few overs really slow. Man, the next day I was
Yeah.
in fucking like proper agony. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Again, they're because they're short burst sports, aren't they? They're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you burst of energy and then you do
Tennis,
nothing.
there's another one. It's meant to be rife in that sport as well.
Well, yeah, but then again, that's another
I tell you
cycling
what
one
stops
for
it,
me.
yeah, what stops it is when you've got so much interest from companies backing the sport up and all that money involved. It's not going to get tested. It's going to get put to the back, isn't it? Because there's too much money involved. Too much money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Too much money. Too much is relying on that for the promotion of the companies.
Oh,
They
we
don't
can-
want the sport to be coming to.
We could probably spend another podcast talking about this, and
I
we're near
know,
the
I-
end.
I
So
love- I
we
love
should probably
Then we
jump
need
into
to
sport.
catch
Maybe
up
we'll
with-
do it next week, though. Should we say that?
Yeah.
We'll talk
All right,
about
we'll
drugs
talk
and
about
sport
drugs
next
and
week.
sport next week.
Yeah.
I've played sport on. I'll leave that there. We'll talk about. Let's catch up on the comments.
Yeah.
Richard
Brian.
said, cycling still a filthy sport.
Yeah.
And
it
then
is.
Paul Godfrey said, this gem, no idea where this come from, Godfrey. He says his soldier mate used to cut ears off the enemy he killed and keep them in a jar. still
Enjoy them with
able
lava beans and
to
a fine
put out them
coffee.
gems. Godfrey, I have no idea what that is. You need to elaborate on that one, mate. But yeah, all right, cool. We'll do drugs in sport next week as a subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
All
so.
right, cool.
Write it on the board.
All right, sweet.
So what came out today?
All right.
Oh yeah.
So, children,
What came out today?
Don't know what
well,
did come
today
out.
our new single come out.
Is it a single or just a music video?
It's just a music video.
Yeah.
Single music video. It's on its own.
It's on its own.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube. Air Gets Thin. The video is shit hot.
Yeah, we like it, but someone
Yeah.
doesn't.
Cox is all precious over it because he edited it.
I shot it as well.
I shot some shots.
I didn't use them.
But afterwards, yeah.
I was waiting for that scene, and all the family was sitting round.
He cut it out. Oh, you bluffed it. That was me. I did that one.
You can find a music video afterwards as well. So at the end of the podcast, go into the channel, our channel.
It is on
and
YouTube,
It's
yes.
on YouTube. It come out before. I just left the room, went out the room, come back. It was there. I've not even had
Yeah.
a look at it yet. But
I
yeah,
sniped it on
it is
there,
a
didn't I?
banging music video. And you know what? You know to know something? The tune's mega.
Do you like
It's
it?
top tune.
It is mega. The Malthusian Trap, Air Gets Thin. It's fucking mega. Oh no. We're still doing questions. 'Cause one's come up.
Let's do a quick
yeah.
question then, shall we? And then we'll talk a bit more about what's just coming out. and what's
Kyle
coming out.
says, Air Gets Thin is a top tune, lads. My favourite off the EP. If you haven't bought the EP, go to malthusiantrap.co.uk and you can download it for $3.99. We've also got some CDs as well.
That's the
If you
new
come
EP.
to our
That's
gigs,
the EP cover there. You might
there
be able
you'll
to
see
see
the
it.
EP cover. You'll be able to get a CD. But yeah, there was a question that's come in. Hang on, there's a couple. This is
We're trying
Rich
to wrap
said
this up.
about
We got
the,
some recent questions.
Yeah,
the
all
gig
right.
yesterday.
I did a question. Rich
Go
said,
on.
"How was the Bristol gig? How was it?"
It was quite interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was interesting. Are we doing this one candid or are we?
I think.
Let's just be honest.
be honest, but we don't have to go keep because we're coming to the end of the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
we're
just
coming
keep it
to the end
brief,
of the show,
But we'll be honest.
and then we'll come back to the music video. You know what? We met some nice people.
Callum was sound.
Yeah,
and
the
his mates were
promoter
sound.
Callum was sound. His mate was sound.
And we found a nice venue as well. I think it'd be a good one to play again.
Venue was all right. Yeah, it's off the back streets of Bristol. We got free potatoes.
Yeah, in the
You
canteen.
Can't
wasn't it?
knock free potatoes.
Went to the canteen. Saw
Um,
an African duo.
but
They were good fun.
It was
Two-man ting. It was called. wasn't it?
Two-man ting,
Two-man
yeah, that
ting.
was it.
Big up two-man ting.
Go and check them out and tell them where you found them through
But
us.
yeah, we played with a band and there were issues.
There were issues.
But I don't know. I don't think we need to go into it really. I just think that sometimes, I don't know. People need to be a bit nicer to people, and then we wouldn't have issues. But yeah.
Rudeness is not tolerated in this band.
And we
It
weren't
isn't.
rude.
No,
We were talking. We were chatting. We were having a good time.
I think we're fair people, and when we go to places, we try to make an effort to watch the bands. If I don't know if it's quiet, we'll put something back in and we'll watch and we'll be enthusiastic towards people. But when it's not reciprocated and people are rude to us, then we'll just be give the
Rude
same
back,
back
yeah.
in it.
Get what
So
you
there
give.
were a few issues, a few comical issues. That, we want details. Look, all right, what happened was we had a few beers on the way home. I called one of them a dickhead. Their managers got in touch
On
with
Facebook.
us.
Their
Yeah.
manager was their old guitarist. Got hold of us.
Their manager got in touch with us and started asking for feedback and why have you done this, why have you done that, and started moaning to the promoter. I've just taken the piss out of him, and then we called him a dickhead as well, and that's it. We got called unprofessional for calling someone a dickhead. But
And they turned up without gear and called us unprofessional.
yeah, didn't say a word to us, didn't say hello. Yeah, anyway, fuck it, it's done.
Sat on the phones throughout the whole gig.
Yeah, we're playing the music, they were on the phones, but it's dead, it's done, it's squashed.
That's it.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Fuck 'em.
We got a gig this Friday anyway.
This Friday in Torquay.
Torquay, yeah. What's
It's gonna
the
be a good
venue
one.
called?
We're playing the Apple and Parrot on Friday. We've got some indie DJs playing with us, Nick and Lee from Supersonic DJs. We're doing a PA set. It's free entry. Come down, Apple and Parrot, Torquay. We'll have a few beers. We've got CDs. We won't be rude to anyone or call anyone dickheads, because that's not. We're not really like that. We're nice people. But hang on, going back to the what's the date of the Totnes gig? That's a good question.
Is it the 10th?
Hang on, let me check the calendar. I think it's Tuesday, the 10th of
Rich, it was
December.
filmed on the
Drum roll,
moors,
please.
by the way.
I'll come to that question. Tuesday, the 10th of December, the Barrel House, returning to Totnes, where we
Triumphant
smashed it
return.
last time. Big up the Totnes people.
Big up.
Rich, where was the music video filmed? So it was filmed on Dartmoor in the worst weather you could possibly imagine. I got naked for a little bit
He
and then
did.
put some clothes on. I was freezing. Doug made everyone stand in a puddle, and then we shot it in a warehouse in the rain until the early hours.
Like a raining man. Raining man.
It was.
Video.
It
It's
was.
raining man.
But done by Jelly Halliwell.
Jerry Halliwell, yeah. Yeah, it was shot on Dartmoor, basically. It's a great music video, so go check it out. And it's great in the sense of everyone else will think it's great, not just us. So gig-wise, Apple and Parrot this Friday, the 22nd of November. Then we're in Totnes for the 10th of December. Then we're into Christmas. And then we've got some big plans for next year. Have we got babysitting? I don't know. I'm working on it. Stop interrupting me while I'm doing the podcast. But yeah, do go and download the EP.
Check out the music video.
Malthusiantrap.co.uk. Check out the music video.
Give it a like, give it a share it around to all your friends.
Give us some comments
Tell your mum.
on the podcast. Let us know what kind of guests you'd like in. We'll be back 9 o'clock next week, every Monday, through the Trapdoor podcast. Rock up!
Light up.
Cuz. Cuz.